we have François Descraques, did I say it right? The director of Visitor from the Future with us here. Yeah, this film was based on a really successful web series in France. Has anyone here seen the web series? Okay, well that's all right because it is huge in France. Yes. If you Google it, it is huge. People are very excited about this film, and of course our theme this year is the future. So we're really excited to see this movie. It's super funny. It's just the type of humor that Fantastic Fest audiences are going to love. It's very absurd. So yeah, Francois is going to say a few words, and then afterwards we'll have a Q&A with him.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here. For me, it's a dream come true because I've been following from Paris the Fantastic Fest each year, and each year I was like, I would love to be there one day just to watch movies. And the first time I come here is to present my movie, so it's a huge honor for me. So thank you very much. The movie you're about to see is called The Visitor from the Future. As you say, it's an adaptation from a web series I made with my friend and my brother. So we started like 13 years ago, and now we've made a feature film. But you don't have to watch the web series to understand it. And it was made for 4 million euros, which is not that big for a science fiction movie. So please be nice.
Great. Stay for the Q&A afterwards.
No, I can be.
Okay. So yeah, when the programming team saw this movie, we were just laughing the whole time. We knew that y'all would really appreciate it. So I'm so glad that everyone was just having a great time during that screening. Do you want to talk a little bit about the original web series?
Yes.
And then how you converted it to a feature?
Well, it was a long process because we made like 4 seasons of the main series. Then we made a novel and a comic book, and then we made the feature film. But when I had to make the feature film, I had to adapt my own work as if it was not mine, because I didn't want to be like just a continuation of the show. I want everybody in the world to be able to understand it. So it was very hard for me to find the right angle. So that's why I created 2 new main characters. One is Gilbert, who is played by Arnaud Ducré, and the other is Alice, which is played by Enya Baroux, which is here. Enya, come here. She's the star of the movie.
Welcome.
I didn't want to come. I was hiding.
I know.
Voilà. It's the only thing I will say today because I don't want to speak English in front of you.
She speaks very well English, and our dreams is to work here in America. So
in Austin.
In Austin. Also. So you're a bilingual actress. You can play everything everywhere.
Thank you.
So before coming onto the film, were you familiar with the web series or the comic, or was it brand new?
It's really funny that you asked the question because we did une tournée, a tour with the movie for 1 month. And
France.
In France, yes. And a lot of people were fans of the series, and they were like, "Did you have seen the web series?" And I was like, "No." And everybody was like, "Ooh!" And it was very terrifying for me. So I'm glad I'm here because I can say no, I didn't see the web series, and you don't care because you're American. So, but now, yeah, I've seen it now. I didn't see it before.
That's fair.
But if you had seen it, would you have accepted to be?
No, absolutely not. No. No.
So it's a sci-fi film, and a lot of times with lower budget science fiction films, it's really hard to pull them off, to make them look good, to have the right effects. So you want to talk about, the challenges of making a sci-fi film on a modest budget?
Well, the first thing we did in the TV shows, well, the web series, because it was for internet, it was that we said, okay, we can't show the future. So the guy from the future comes to the present. Yeah, that's a smart idea. And so, and then the second thing was, okay, we have to show the future. But the future is junk. So it will be easier to make. So that's very basic filmmaking. Like the first Terminator is almost the same thing. Very low budget B movies are set in the post-apocalyptic future because it's not that expensive. So we did the same thing.
That's good. You worked with your limitations and
Yes.
really pulled it off.
Yes, and we tried to avoid a lot of green screen because we knew that green screen can be very tricky. So we built a lot of stuff. So the whole future is built in a factory.
Nice. All right, audience, do y'all have any questions? Yes, right there.
And you, how can someone watch the series?
It's on
Sorry,
YouTube.
I'm gonna repeat it
Yes.
because we're simulcasted. The question was, how can someone watch the web series?
It's on YouTube. You type The Visitor from the Future. But I think there are some restriction because from season 3, we've been produced by France Télévisions, which is like national TV, and they block. So you may have to use a VPN, and you are allowed to do it.
Don't tell anyone that. Another question from the audience?
And,
Yeah.
and the whole series is subtitled in English, so and in Russian if you want to.
There you go. Yeah, right there.
I'm just curious about some of your favorite time travel movies and influences.
Oh, 1 second. It was, what are your favorite time travel movies and influences?
Well, the first Terminator, of course, was one of my main influence, but also 12 Monkeys by Terry Gilliam. So, and of course, Back to the Future, because yes, but there are a lot of influence, and sometimes I forget them. And people tell me, hey, have you seen the butterfly effect? I say, yes, because it's all over your movie. I say, oh, yes, I did it, yes, of course. So sometimes I forget my own influence. And I think it's good, because if you are too aware of them, you try to copy them. But if you do it in a substantial way, it's better. Substantious way, I don't know.
Subconscious
way.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Enya.
Yeah, right there.
So what was the most difficult kind of shot to do, and then what was your favorite shot to do?
Well,
Oh.
yes.
Well, sorry. Most difficult shot and favorite shot.
Well, the part with the kids was the thing that I was the most afraid of, because I was like, oh no, kids, they're going to break everything and they're going to be hurt, because we were shooting in a very, how do you say, factory with a lot of traps and stuff with spikes, so they can be hurt. And at the end, it was my favorite scene, because they were so awesome. They was very, very strict, and we shot during lockdown. So the kids didn't go to school, and the parents was so glad to give us their kids, and they're like, okay, take them. And so for them, it was cool, because it was the first time they went outside their own home, and they were in the future, and they had to fight zombies. So it was my favorite scenes, and also working with Enya Baroux, because every time she had to do something very emotional, she told me, I can't do it, it's too much. And I say, okay, no problem, we do one take, and we'll see. She do one take, okay. Can you try for the second take? No, I can't cry. Okay, we do the second take, and not only does she cry, but she does what we call the Elijah Wood cry, which is crying with just one eye, without blinking. And she does it twice in the movie.
Because I had a spotlight in front of
Ah,
my
yeah,
eyes,
yeah.
and I was like, okay, don't blink. And François was like, yeah, it's amazing,
Don't tell your
yeah.
trick, don't tell your trick.
Yeah, right there.
When you're writing like a time heist kind of movie like this, Like, do you start at the end and work backwards, or what was the writing process like?
When you're writing a time jumping script like this, do you start at the back? Do you start at the beginning?
Well, I start with the only thing I knew was that I wanted Alice to live in the future, but it was like, why would she do that? The future is horrible. So I had to. I was forced to say, okay, but maybe if she erases herself, she has no place to go there. So it was from the end. I had to think of it. But in the script, there were a lot more of description or justification or exposition. And in the editing, we realized that the more you explain, the more people don't understand. Because they try to focus on things, and so we cut a lot of explanation, and it became more fluent.
All right, one more question. Yeah, right there.
Hi, I was wondering if there was a little bit of a call out or Easter eggs in there for Terminator.
Oh.
Might have heard a little sounds.
Terminator Easter eggs.
Well, there are a lot of Easter eggs from different scenes. Terminator, maybe. But there are also very geeky Easter eggs from The Princess Bride. I don't know if you Yes, you knew it. So that's my favorite Easter egg. There is also some reference to other movie, but I didn't want it to be too not a parody. So they are subtle, I think.
Well, thank you so much. Another
Thank you very
big
much.
round of applause.